5280 Sports Network, good afternoon. It is a bonus edition of your Morning Minute. Nate Lundy and Shawn Drotar. We are here out at Dove Valley, the UC Health Training Center, where the Broncos just introduced Vance Joseph as the 16th head coach in the history of the franchise. Annabelle Bolin was here, members of the Bolin family. Joe Ellis, John Elway spoke as well, and of course the media, both locally and nationally, paying attention. Shawn, not necessarily specifics that were spoken, but your overall impression of Coach Joseph.
Well, I think it's very interesting to see a coach who's fired up and to be there. Obviously, he was excited. You could tell that even at the beginning of the press conference, maybe even a little nervous coming home to a certain extent. Talked about coming back to Colorado and talking about the ideas that he has for the Denver Broncos. Now, they didn't get into specifics with assistant coaches, something that I know people are interested in, but that's sort of left for another day. That's something they'll be working their way through. But you heard a lot about leader of men again, hearing Vance Joseph as he was introduced. To me, I thought it was interesting as we start seeing NFL coaching sort of evolve. These franchises are enormous, multi-million, even billion-dollar organizations. That X's and O's, something that people talked about with perhaps Kyle Shanahan being a candidate, are being de-emphasized in favor of a force of personality, in knowing that the people themselves that are going to be calling those tactics, calling those plays, and Vance Joseph said he didn't want to call the defensive plays, those are really left to the coordinators. Now it's about the who, not the what you've done.
I think the other thing to pay attention to when you talk about the leader of men side of things, and I think that this can't go unnoticed, we all know that the Broncos have a tremendous number of personalities in that locker room, and certainly a lot of them on the defensive side of things. Well, you'd be fooling yourself if you didn't think that that same circumstance existed when Vance Joseph was with the Cincinnati Bengals and even with the Miami Dolphins. These are multi-millionaire athletes. A lot of them have very interesting personalities, and some of those personalities clash. And so I think to Shawn's point, you do need to have a leader of men, and somebody who knows how to guide these players forward and have them do it as a cohesive unit. The only conversation that did take place about the assistant, Shawn, he was asked about Wade Phillips. He commented that Wade was a free agent and was free to basically go wherever he wanted. He didn't specifically mention that he would be talking to Wade Phillips, simply that he was a free agent. Mike McCoy was asked he was asked about Mike McCoy and commented that he knows Mike, has a lot of respect for Mike, and believes that Mike is a very good offensive coordinator. When asked about his timetable, he said he was hopeful in the next week to week and a half. So for Broncos fans, I think that's the timetable we're looking at for them to do some interviews. John Elway took the podium after Vance Joseph. He was asked specifically what kind of involvement he would have in selecting the offensive coaches. He gave the exact correct PR answer, which was, this is Vance's coach's staff, and he will be making those decisions. I will provide input if I am asked.
And support via personnel, which is, of course, John Elway's specific job, and getting the players for Vance Joseph to coach.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you have it. Yeah, the introductory press conference with Vance Joseph. We'll have a lot more coverage of that on our morning show tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for a Football Friday on Mile High Sports Radio, AM 1340, FM 1047. Also, all the coverage at 5280sportsnetwork.com. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. Make sure you've got us on Instagram, Facebook. I don't know. Take your pick. Wherever you want to find us, you know that's where we're going to be. We've also got the 5280 Sports Network app now. Just go search the App Store and you'll find it. We appreciate you stopping by for an afternoon edition of the Morning Minute. For Shawn, I'm Nate. We'll talk to you tomorrow.